And which we do know with healthcare today as it is and as good as it is compared to 50 years ago, I mean, we are living much longer.
Yes, the average age is 78 now at death, and so our mortality rates continue to climb, and so that number you'll see grow, and the reading that I'm doing says that by the end of this century, it won't be uncommon to see them live to be 120 to 140 years old. And
wow.
I know that doesn't sound appealing to some people, but with the advancements in medical
right.
technology and the emphasis on exercise and fitness and taking care of yourself, people are going to live longer and live healthier lives and really get a quality of life that is something you want to have.
Well, you know, one of the other things I want to talk a little bit about is the benefits of assisted living. So it's not just the benefit that you can have the spin downs, you can live quality of life, you can have independent living, but there's so many other things, especially under healthcare. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes. Under the healthcare side, I mentioned earlier that one of the special services in supportive living and somewhat even in all assisted living, but especially in supportive living, is the health monitoring that goes on. Each person is a special person in the community of the supportive living facility, and each person has their health status monitored on a regular basis. Not to the point where it's annoying or bothers them, but just so that you can ward off and help deal with and address any health deterioration or any health problem that a person has. So if they become sick or if they become weaker, you can identify that and help them deal with that aspect of it. So health monitoring and promoting healthy aging is a very important concept of assisted living, especially in the supportive living program, and one that I think helps set the program apart from basic social models of assisted living, which you'll find often. This is one that promotes the health aspect and wellness aspect of healthy aging.
Absolutely.
A couple other benefits that I'd mentioned that are often overlooked, the fact that many seniors are isolated and alone and don't eat properly. So when they move into supportive living, almost everyone gains weight to a point where they're much healthier. And so the nutritional support is very important for our seniors. And the other thing that's often overlooked is the social interaction that they have. Many seniors have lost loved ones and friends, and so they're alone, and they move into these buildings reluctantly at first, but then they find out how much fun it really is to have something to look forward to and to have activities with people who have the same interest you do. And so it becomes a real special aspect that even goes beyond the healthcare, is the fact that proper nutritional support and having some fun and something to look forward to is what makes life interesting and enjoyable, and they get to have that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Again, I want to remind our viewers that our lines are open, and today with me is Mr. Wayne Smallwood, Executive Director of Affordable Assisted Living Coalition. Phone lines are open 312-738-1060. Now, I know that these are all wonderful benefits, and because of all of this, we want to make sure that everyone is aware of it. I know that Supportive Living Week is coming up, and it's being recognized. Can we talk about that?
Oh, I'm very excited about that. For the last 3 years, we decided at the Affordable Assisted Living Coalition, where I'm Executive Director, that we needed to do something to celebrate supportive living and the wonderful model we have here in Illinois, which, if I haven't said it yet, I think I have, but I'll say it again, that we think we have the best affordable assisted living model in the country, and we think it's a special program, and the people who provide the service and build these buildings, as well as the staff that work in them and the residents and families, all love this model, and we've seen testimonials come from all levels that say how much they love supportive living, and we decided 3 years ago that we needed to do something to celebrate the model. So we've chosen the last week in April each year to celebrate supportive living. So April 26th through the 30th, all 119 of these buildings around the state of Illinois will be celebrating by having open houses and activities that acknowledge the program and what it is, making people aware of that, but also how much they've enjoyed living there and how much they enjoy working there. I've had people tell me it's the nicest place I've ever lived. I've had staff people say it's the nicest place I've ever worked. And so it's just gratifying to hear the testimonials come in. But those are side benefits of us
Right.
celebrating the model
Right.
each year, which is what we're going to do next week with Supportive Living Week.
Wow, that just sounds really exciting. I know that some of the celebrations all week long. For example, there are some things taking place over at Pathway Senior Living as well as one, and it's also one of the top providers for supportive living. At least that's what I hear.
No, it's very much so. Pathway Senior Living, headquartered in Des Plaines, is one of the top providers for supportive living, and they operate around 10 facilities throughout the Chicagoland area, and they're one of our top providers. And if you go look at Pathway Senior Living, you will find out that they offer not only quality environments, but wonderful lifestyles and living environments that really make it feel like home.
Sure.
So Pathway
and
is
Victory
big.
Center is another one of those for Victory Family. I mean, that's one of these other centers that if you're not familiar with the name, you should become familiar with these names.
Yes, Victory Center is the trademark for Pathway Senior Living, and if you see the name Victory Center, you can be assured that it represents quality of life and wonderful service, and I'd encourage you to look at those. But any supportive living facility that you saw it by looking at those websites, or you can call me with the number that was on the screen.
Actually, I think we should put those up again, so if anyone who's watching,
Sure.
that they can get that information.
But feel free to call or to contact me at that website. And the website at the bottom of the page is the State of Illinois website for the Supportive Living Facilities Program right there, yes. So that www.slfillinois.com gives you a great menu option for how to locate facilities under the Supportive Living Program. But Pathway is one of the premier operators, and it really gratifies me to work with people like that. And
I agree. I hear so many wonderful things, not just about the services, but the staff, and constantly getting compliments. Being that we're involved in community, I mean, with as a program of Advocate Illinois Masonic Hospital and affiliated with Gottlieb Memorial, we're constantly hearing about some of the things that both of these places are doing.
yes, and it's for them, it's about making this a home and a community and the people who live there, not about making money, which a business has to do, but their focus is on how to treat people the way they would like to be treated.
Absolutely.
And they focus on that aspect of it as opposed to what other ways can we do this to make money.
Sure. Now, I know that in addition to customizing senior housing to various income levels, what does Pathway Senior Living or Victory Center offer that is unique for its residents?
Well, Pathway has done a lot to try to focus on the market for Hispanic residents, and I've been very proud that they are focusing so much of their attention on trying to help more Hispanic residents through cultural events that they have, through hiring bilingual staff that are there, as well as trying to market to Hispanic individuals and communities. And so Pathway has done a great deal to try to help offer the supportive living program to all cultures, but especially those of Hispanic descent.
So basically bringing in the bilingual and bicultural aspect of it to a place. So when, as Latinos and many groups, I mean, we never thought that we would have to put our parents in a senior home or assisted living home, and let alone in our country, that's not something we do. We have such a high regard and respect for our elders that we're going to take care of them. But as you mentioned earlier, I mean, today, wives and husbands are working 2 jobs, or they're both working. So that daughter is not at home, or even that eldest son is not at home as it used to be. So it's definitely something that folks are working 2 jobs, or both are working jobs during the day, and they need to make sure that their parents are in a safe environment.
So true, and well said. And you can also find where children may live in the Chicago area and their parents may live in California. And so when mom and dad need help or need to, live in a assisted living environment, they often look for something close to them in the Chicago area. So it's important that you bring mom and dad to be close to you. So that phenomenon we see where the children who are working will bring their parents close to live with them and to try to find the best option. And it's wonderful that here in Illinois we do offer high quality, affordable assisted living through this program.
Absolutely. And I know that you mentioned the Spanish speaking and the Hispanic community, but I know it's for all communities, because I know you work with our Polish community and our Asian community. So it's multicultural. It's not just the one.
Exactly. And we're finding the same need is there for all cultures and all levels, and that's why it's important, as I mentioned earlier, that these 119 buildings are located throughout Illinois. What I didn't tell you is that there's another 44 that are currently under development that will be available also throughout Illinois. And more of those are coming in the Chicago area. Another 30 or so will be coming to the city and Cook County. So I'm excited about offering where our population density is located, that the model will be available more often to those communities.
Well, I know that Pathway offers so much to their residents. Beautiful new homes, nice amenities, housekeeping. We didn't talk about that.
Right.
But our time goes by so quickly here. But real quickly, housekeeping, meals. What is the most important thing you think they can provide? Before closing, we've got a few seconds.
Well, within a few seconds, I would say the healthcare monitoring is very important, along with the other two things I mentioned, which is the nutritional support as well as the social interaction. Those three together make a powerful combination of services in a loving environment.
Well, thanks to Supported Living, Illinois seniors can receive the progressive levels of care they need up to a certain point and still live in a very residential, independent style, supportive living environment. I want to thank you, Mr. Smallwood, for coming out today, being with us. Time goes by so quickly, and we still have so much more to say. We just got to have you back.
That'll be
so,
wonderful.
On behalf of Hispano Care, a program of Advocate, Illinois Masonic Medical Center, and Gottlieb Memorial Hospital affiliate, thank you for joining us this evening. And until next time, see you soon. Please stay tuned for more important information coming up. Have a good evening.